this is a section entitled Breach for Nuisance. And there's some confusion on this issue. There's a statute that basically says if the tenant breaches your rental agreement as a result of drug nuisance or gang nuisance, you have the right to give them, regardless of if they're in a year lease or a month-to-month, regardless, you have the right to give them a 5-day notice with no right to cure the problem. So this is kind of one of those situations we talked about where it's a, one strike and you're out. They're just deciding in that situation, it's severe enough, you can forget about the rules, we're going to create this new rule and let you get them out. It's not as simple as you think, okay? In order to have a drug nuisance or a gang nuisance, essentially what that means is the police have been monitoring your unit for quite some time. It's under a stakeout. And they can't arrest the person for whatever reason. They don't have enough facts. But they know the person's dealing drugs out of there. And you have to get a specific drug nuisance or a gang nuisance letter from the police in order for this to apply. So many people say, my tenant got arrested for dealing drugs or smoking drugs, and he was arrested. Here's the police report, here's the CCAP printout. Not good enough. You can't use this notice in that situation. That's not a nuisance, that's just some illegal activity. So everything we just talked about would apply in that situation. You need this actual drug nuisance letter. So if that's going on, hopefully if you're having some kind of drug dealing like that going out of your property, you're in touch with your liaison officer for whatever district you're in, and you're talking to them. They want to get rid of this person also. They obviously cannot arrest them for whatever reason. Tell them, give me the dang nuisance letter, and then I'll be happy to serve them. I mean, they want you to get them out too, but we have constraints in what we're allowed to do. If they don't have enough on them to arrest them, and their constraints are not quite as strong as ours in some situations, you want me to do this, well then you got to help me, and hopefully they will give you that letter and you can use that situation. Now, how comfortable is it to go to a drug dealer and hand them a 5-day notice? Not very. So what I've told people to do in this situation, and in situations where we've dealt with this, it's going to seem kind of flippant, and I don't know if I mean it to be flippant or not, maybe I do, but you go to the person and you basically put everything on the cops. This isn't, hey, just so you know, the police are watching the place. They got this monitored. They came to me. If I don't do anything, they actually have the right to close down my property. They do. And they have the right to actually sell the property if they want to. To me, you're a great tenant. You pay rent all the time. You pay in cash, right up front. No bounce checks. I love you. But these damn cops are all over me. Just thought I would let you know. Here's your 5-day notice. Trust me, if it's a good drug dealer, he's going to leave. He doesn't want to get arrested. You don't have to worry about it. Okay? Maybe that's how you try to do that, because you have to realize with this notice, if they show up in court and want to fight this, you still have to prove that that drug or gang nuisance went on. Now, once again, most real drug dealers are not going to show up in court, so there can be testimony taken so they can get their butts arrested as soon as the testimony is done. But the only way you're going to be able to prove that type of situation is if you have the police. You're not going to get tenants to testify against drug dealers and gang members. So you have to be in good with the police in this situation. So if you have that situation, try to do that. I can give you a little horror war story.